Love it, dude.
All right,
She's
morning,
got
boys
one
and girls.
display here, guys.
Welcome to the pilot episode of Morning Wood, your WoW weekly update with Tata, Vexx, and Lynkz. I guess say hi, guys. We'll start out there.
What's up?
What is going on?
So what we're gonna do here for the next so many weeks is we're gonna talk about what's going on this next week in WoW, give you our perspective of how we think things are going, how they might go, and yeah, just so we can get together in the morning because we're old boomers and we want to talk about WoW Sunday morning before the family wakes up. So I guess first off, we'll introduce each other. Tata, if you want to go first, kind of tell people who you are, what you're about.
Yes, I'm Tata. I play Holy Paladin. I at this moment I'm really enjoying arenas and PvP aspect of the game, but I do raid weekly, and I also do mythics as well. So I pretty much do play all around in the game. However, again, my main focus is on arenas, and I guess Vexx, we'll go to you.
Cool. Yeah, I'm Vexx. I play basically every class. It's an issue that I have. Right now, I'm checking out the Arms Warrior, and I'm going to be touching on a little bit of everything. I do want to focus more on PvP and pushing rating, but yeah.
All right, good deal. Lynkz here. So, used to main Guardian Druid. You know, you're the bear life. But this tier is, or this expansion has changed things. So, raiding is feral, and I'm joining these two clowns here on Horde as a hunter. So, we'll see if I can figure out marksman. All right, so I guess first topic we want to touch on here is Mythic Plus. This week we got bolstering, necrotic, tie week. What happened there?
So the share screen just disappeared.
All right, well, we will pull that back up. Well, that's fun.
Bear with us with some technical difficulties.
Right, this first time it might be a little bit rocky as we
Yeah,
get
it's
things
all
figured out.
all good.
So,
Yeah.
I'll crop that one, dude. Definitely crop that one, my guy.
all right, we should be back.
There we
Okay,
go.
now we're back.
Yeah, cool. Let me see. I might have to. Yeah. Bing, bang, boom. Got it.
All right, so again, Mythic Plus, bolstering, necrotic, tie week. So I guess Tata, you've been doing much Mythic Plus lately, or were you sitting on those?
I think right now I'm just about at all 10 plus times. I'm gonna go for 15. I just been so occupied with doing arena, but I have had a chance to go through just about every affix.
So with this week coming up, bolstering, necrotic, like as a healer, do you see any issues with this, or?
Yeah. So with bolstering and necrotic, I think the most issue you're gonna find with necrotic is where the every time you get hit, you get basically like a dot, right, with reduced healing.
All right. Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, like a
So-
mortal strike.
The biggest, I guess, the best you're really gonna run. It's really gonna be more of a tank aspect. So what you're really gonna do as a healer is let your tank know that you're gonna want to make sure that you're kiting effectively. Of course, if you have, since I run Paladin, I'm a really big Paladin fan. Definitely want to run Paladin tank and Paladin healer because now you have two bops that you can work with, and you got also a divine for the tank. So the Paladin tank can run the divine spec where they can actually divine and taunt at the same time, so they won't lose aggro. So you definitely want to more or less try to drop those necrotic strikes. I think around 25 is where I've seen where you want to make sure that they're dropped. If you're a DH or so, of course you just want to jump out, leap out. But ultimately, it's going to be really more of a tank aspect to know how much to pull and when to kite.
All right, good deal. So can Bop reset necrotic?
Yeah, so if you bop it, you will lose aggro. But however, what you want to do as a tank is you would want to set up a cancel bop macro. That way, as soon as the healer does bop the tank can hit that macro, and then all the necrotic stacks will fall off. The tank can click it off real quick, and then also get aggro back.
Nice.
Okay, so that'll be more of an issue too with like bosses, because it is going to be a tie week. So trash may go down fast enough where it shouldn't be too big of an issue, but it's going to be more on the whole boss fights. If they go too long, too much interaction with the boss is going to stack that up and basically make you immune to heals.
Absolutely, yeah. So you would want to, what you want to do is after like 25, 30 stacks or so, if you're unable to kite it off, which on a boss fight, usually you can't kite a boss. So usually they move really fast, regardless of the boss. So, or if you move out of a certain range, the boss will just attack somebody else. So what you would want to do is definitely bop it around 25 or 30 stacks to reset it, cancel bop, and then get the aggro of the boss.
Yeah, and they've set it up pretty good so far with like a lot of the boss fights. Like let's talk about like Mist, like where you get the game fight where you're doing like the guessing game. At that point, the boss like frees up for a little bit while I cast it, so you get a chance. You can go away from the boss and let it drop too. A lot of the bosses have like little engagement where the boss does something, so he's not hitting you. So if you go across the map while he does his little RP effect, you can let it fall off at that aspect too, so it's not so much a class dependent as a lot of the boss fights have that little gimmicky thing going on in it.
Yeah, that's actually correct. Yeah, so have you done that dungeon yet, Vexx? Where you go through
I think I've run
guessing
like
game?
2 dungeons so far this expansion, so I'm definitely new to everything that we're going over.
Oh, okay. So yeah, one oh go ahead, Lynkz.
No, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say that one of the dungeons that they came out with in Shadowlands is there's this guessing game almost all throughout the dungeon, and so you have to like guess these patterns to open certain doors, and then when you lead up to the boss, it's the same way. So people like me who honestly just try to mongoloid everything are going through this, and every time you go through the wrong door, it puts you back at the beginning, not the beginning of the dungeon, but the beginning of the actual, like, I should say the first door of when the guessing game starts.
Okay,
So
yeah,
it can
I think I
absolutely
remember
make it,
seeing that.
yeah, it can make people frustrated. But as Lynx was saying though, on the boss though, when the boss is hitting you, it does give you stacks of necrotic, but during the guessing game, it gives you an opportunity to drop necrotic strikes, and I think I want to say almost there's just about almost all the bosses. There might be a few where it won't reset, but it does give you an opportunity within the fight to reset your necrotic.
Right, right. Yeah, I think I remember seeing you on stream. You were running that at one point. You guys went through a couple doors, and everybody was like, "What the hell?" Yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's absolutely so troll too because, like some people will just think they have it right and they'll go through the door and it'll reset the whole group. So
oh
you
man.
definitely want to work as a team to make sure you go through.
Right.
Yeah, see, we had our buddy Jimmy the first few weeks that he was super confident that he understood the patterns, understood how it worked, but he was 100% failing every time he guessed.
Oh no.
Like one of those guys where he's like, I got this. Everybody go back to the start. So, like, if you got a couple close keys, like that one's it's pretty forgiving, but along the lines of guessing it wrong, having to start back at the start, like you may go through and you may have to do 5 packs, you may have to do like 7. Like the way that maze is set up, you may have to do higher percentage in that gap too. Like it's so, like, what's the word? They kind of used it as Torgath, where it's not linear, it's more like randomized for a dungeon. It's not like one set path.
Right.
Yes.
You're smart one, Bex. What's the term for that they use in gaming, where it's like what Diablo
like
does?
Procedural.
RNG?
Like that?
Yeah,
Is
let's
it-
say RNG. RNG will be the
yeah,
the simple term for that.
What does RNG stand for?
Random
Randomized.
number generator, I think.
There we go.
Dude, that can't be right. That's talking
There we
numbers.
go.
Then we're talking maps. Like that can't be the same thing, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, in the background, the coding's gonna roll a random number to determine what the route's gonna be. So yeah.
Yeah, you definitely went above my head there. All right. So Vex, you've done a couple of dungeons. What have you done so far? Like, what have you seen?
Oh shoot, I don't even know. What did we run, Tata? I don't even know the names of the dungeons yet, to be honest with you. And all we ran, I think we ran 0, so we didn't even have any affixes. So I haven't run any keys yet. Yeah.
Do you remember any of the dungeons? Like, which ones you did? Like, and like, did it have woods? Was it like poisony looking?
I honestly don't remember. I don't remember. I may not even have run. Did we ran a Mythic 0, right, Tata? I remember picking up a key and then I was like, where'd my key go? And that was last week. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. We
Yeah,
only
I think we
ran.
did
That's
Necrotic
right. Yeah.
Wake.
Okay.
I guess my question would be, I know it's hard to remember the name of the dungeons, but what is your thought over like the overall design and mechanics like compared to BFA? Because I know you get to at least see some of the dungeons. What's your like initial thought of what how this compares to the previous expansion?
Honestly, I'm gonna need to spend more time in the dungeons to see. But so far, I mean, I like the theming of everything. I mean, I just started playing again. In those two dungeons, I don't remember much of them so far. So I'm not gonna have a lot of input for that, to be honest.
What about you,
Fair.
Lynx?
I like, I don't know, it might be a symmetry thing, but I like the pairing where it's each covenant has two dungeons.
Okay.
Like, I probably like the Venthyr one's the best from like an RP or like a look type thing, the whole castle for both of them. But the easiest one, like Mist, like 3 bosses in and out, love it. Like, and you get to troll somebody on the whole puzzle maze thing when somebody screws up. So the inner troll in me enjoys that one.
What is the one dungeon that's like an arena that you like run into the big arena and you're fighting? Like it's not
The
necessarily, you know what I'm
theater of
talking about.
pain,
The
dude.
theater of pain, yeah. So I was actually watching I was watching a video last night to find out where to get um my legendary power that I need from, and I saw that, and I haven't run that yet, but that looks cool. I like the idea of that. There was a similar dungeon in the past that was like that as well, where it wasn't necessarily the dungeon, but it was more like a gauntlet that you ran into. You know what I mean? And you had to deal with waves. I like that.
Can't recall. I really like the idea that two people go into a duel, and like the way that the boss works is there's like a whole set. There's 2 platforms, and it throws 2 DPS. It's never a healer, unfortunately, because I would wreck one of the DPS, but that's another conversation. But they basically throw us on. They throw 2 DPS on another platform, and they duel it out. And you don't necessarily die, but what happens is after the duel, you get thrown back on the main platform, and you got to kill a banner in a certain amount of time. But it's so cool to hear the other DPS in Discord screaming at each other and trying to make rules that don't exist. The rules are there are no rules, but people try to make rules like no CC or none of that because they try to make it as fast as possible. But
Right.
it's rather hilarious to watch for sure.
So that's cool.
So when you say you would wreck them, like, I feel like it defeats the purpose if you go down there and bubble Hearth out.
It does. It would make it unfair of being able to the divine, and then holy pally damage is actually insane right now, so it'd be absolutely unfair. But it would be fun, but we would probably wipe on the main platform because it'd be no heal. So it would definitely be an OP boss for sure if that was happening.
All right, good deal, guys. So I think we should move on to the next topic. So, world boss. So each week we know there's going to be a world boss up. It's going to be in a 4-week rotation. This coming week, it's Valinor. It's the boss out in Bastion. So with this boss, it's going to have 207 loot. So it's basically a loot pinata. 40 people out there, just wreck it real quick. Something you want to do though is if you're an elemental shaman, you're going to want to get out there because your BIS elemental legendary, your memory memory, right? That's what they're called.
Right.
That's gonna drop off this. So with that 4-week rotation, if you don't get out there this week, you're looking at a month before you can get your BIS legendary. So talking about that, what are your guys' thought on the fact that that has a 4-week turnaround for you to be able to come and get your BIS if you don't get it?
Yeah, that's a little
Wow.
bit rough in my opinion. Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I say this and I'm a little salty on it because I had to look up to see who had their BIS because last week was the Marksman Hunter PvP BIS. So
now you have to wait.
yes, I leveled my Hunter, maxed it out on Wednesday. So I had to max my Hunter on Monday to have a shot at it. So because I slow rolled it, I've got to wait 3 weeks to get this PvP legendary now.
A chance at it, right?
I
Now, when we
believe it's
say-
a guarantee.
Oh, it is a guarantee.
Yep.
Okay.
When we say BIS though, are we talking PvE, PvP, raid? What?
So the elemental one this week coming up, that's gonna be for raid.
Okay.
So
Wow.
it was the first boss that came up, like the first week Shadowlands dropped. So a lot of elemental shamans didn't get it. But then after the 4-week cycle, all the elemental shamans shot up in the DPS ranking because they were finally able to get their best legendary. So,
Wow.
and then
Well, if it's a guaranteed drop, you said it. So if it is a guaranteed drop, so it's more time gated than anything, right?
yeah, it's
So-
basically it's the time gating. Like having to, God, I
Right.
couldn't imagine waiting 4 weeks and not getting it and having to wait 8 weeks. Like, I'd delete that character.
I
No,
really
exactly,
don't like
yeah.
that. Holy cow.
Yeah, I guess it depends because, I mean, it's a random drop for my best in slot. Well, I guess it's not. It might not necessarily be a best in slot, but right now it's considered the best legendaries. It's a random drop off of a boss in a mythic. And the video I was watching yesterday was, this warrior was grinding, farming, and wasn't getting it to drop because it's completely RNG. So I guess it depends on how you look at it. If it's a guaranteed drop, but it's just gated by, I gotta wait until next week. You know what I'm saying? It kind of sucks,
Yeah.
but I get it at the same time.
Yep,
My,
so
my
that's the
issue
way
with world
Mythic is.
bosses.
Good.
My issue with world bosses is that one, it's a huge lag fest. Okay, so if you don't lag when you're killing world bosses, like I bow down to you, okay, because it's horrible. And then like I just don't really. I'm not sure. Maybe if they had some unique drops and not necessarily like BIS drops. Maybe if it was like, because there's other legendaries out there that have very interesting features about Torgath and stuff like that. I could see that occurring, but when we're talking about BIS, I would rather see BIS being to raid, making people wanting to raid more, or in arena so that people have to arena, and that just makes everybody playing all aspects of the game rather than a world boss. But
Right.
that's just my opinion on it.
All right. And then, like you're saying, Mike, so or Vexx, my bad. So with the dungeons, so if your dungeon boss drops it, like, so let's talk marksman. Marksman's best, what is it, raid legendary drops off the 3rd boss in Plague. So you can go in there and you can farm normal over and over at a shot for it.
Right.
But as you go up in like skill, like normal, heroic, mythic, it has a higher drop chance.
Right.
And the first week it was super low. Like people were doing like 20 plus runs on normal because that's the one you could farm over and over and still have loot chances at it. But then they made it so it's, I don't say it's guaranteed, but it's almost guaranteed if you run it on mythic to get a shot at it. And so you can farm that one. So rather than waiting the 4 weeks, like you could just bang it out, and maybe you have
True.
to do 20
Right.
normals, but you can at least still, I can get it now. I'm not sitting here with my hands in my pockets for 4 weeks.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's true.
And like so like Vengeance, their top one was off of Sire. So first couple weeks people weren't going to be able to get that one because like this has been a good raid. So I guess on
I like that.
But let's segue into the raid then, I guess. So for progression in raid right now, Tata, where are you guys at?
We're right before Sire Generals. Generals, I think it is.
Okay, so in general, so you guys are 8 of 10. You just killed Sludge for the first time last week.
Well, we're 9 out of 10. Or yeah, we're 8 out of 10. We're going on 9 out of 10. Yeah, and we got the Generals down to 30k health. 30k health, and we just couldn't do it. It was I went to bed crying that night. Yeah, went to bed crying.
So you got both of them down, or you got one down and one had 30k? Because they got to die at the same time, right?
They got that at the same time, so we got them both to. It almost looked like their health were exactly the same. Do they siphon health from each other? Because they were
No.
both at 30k.
They don't share health pools in normal, so I wouldn't think they would in heroic. So you guys just maybe divided
Oh.
up really good, or people adjusting accordingly?
Yeah, I didn't. That was just what we left note on the guild was that the boss had 30k health. So I'm not really for sure I'm not really for sure the exact details on that, but it was really I think one or two people could have probably did it, but it was just it was a chaos once our tank dropped. It was just we had a B res, and there was only one healer, which was me. And when the tank got up, he just got wrecked, completely wrecked. So, but we tried. Definitely on Tuesday, I think we'll get it down.
How many attempts do you think you guys put into it?
We did. So that same night we dropped Sludgefest. Then we went on to it. I think we did 2 hours. So we probably, I couldn't tell you the exact pools, but we just spent about 2 hours on it. The first hour was just wiping right after one. Because one of the mechanics is he throws like a glaive, and you have to run it out of the raid. And for some odd reason, we just love spreading out in the raid. So it basically the first hour was just us wiping to that first mechanic. So it was like a bunch of like 2-minute pulls, and we would all die until we realized what we needed to do, and then we figured it out. But yeah, 2 hours on that boss.
Well, now that you mentioned it, I think this is a good time for this week's hate to see it clip of the week. So
Hate to see it, dude.
We'll do this weekly, and it'll be the hate to see it. It'll be a clip that happened throughout the week that you just hate to see when this happens, right? So let's pull this bad boy up here. All right, and we will uncover this guy.
I don't know if I can see. We can't. We can only see it on your stream, right, Lynkz? Is that right?
You might be able to see it on Discord. Can you see it on Discord?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't. It's fine though. I'll get that figured out next time. Get out. Bring it out.
Coming out.
Oh fuck! It's on me, dude.
Wrong way, Tata. That's okay though. Doesn't matter at this point.
Oh,
Was that me?
It bounces between them, guys, so it did matter. Just wipe it real quick. So Tata, that's why you gotta go to the circle.
So did it show? Like, I don't know if that worked out.
I'm not sure. The video playback, like, it started and then it cut out to black. You could hear audio and then it stopped again. Strange.
Well, let's just do this. We'll just add a big video of it real quick and on the stream.
Cool.
Video capture, add source, Chrome. Well, this isn't working out as efficient as I thought it would be.
Are you able to link the clip?
Yes, let's just do that.
All right.
Properties. All right, we're just gonna I'm gonna go full screen with it here.
Get out. Bring it out.
Coming out.
Oh fuck! It's on me, dude.
Wrong way, Tata. That's okay though. Doesn't matter at this point in the fight.
Was that me?
It bounces between them, guys, so it did matter. Just wipe it real quick. So Tata, that's why you gotta go to the circle.
All right. So that showed up for you guys, right?
Yes, I actually just played it here as well.
All right, so let's talk about this hate to see it moment. What happened there, Tata?
Basically, so my mindset when it comes down to raiding is I just go with the flow, right? If I stand with the other healers, then I will be fine. However, in this fight, I happened to be RNG there, and I was chosen to have a glaive thrown at me, so I didn't get it out. And since I was standing with the other healers, I just wiped the raid, basically.
So, since I'm not in your raid, like, haha, funny to laugh at. If I was in your raid, you would have seen, like, the angry bear. Like,
yeah.
So, from being an officer, like, the last, 5 years in the guild, like, I over-prepare for fights. So, I have to learn what I do, have to learn what everybody else does, so I can judge them and, like, be like, hey, the hell, Steve, you were supposed to do X, Y, Z. And all the different videos and stuff like that. So I think we even touched on this week. Like after that moment, like first pull, the raid leader calling you out, we're gonna see a little bit different Tata's approach to raids going forward, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. Because well, as of right now, our guild is actually getting ready to choose a mythic roster. So those that actually mess up multiple times, regardless of their parses, will sit out. So I have to watch every video now, guys.
And there is a great website for that. This website that I came across this tier, mythictrap.com.
Mythic Trap.
This thing is amazing. They break it down with each mechanic and they put little GIFs in there about like, here's what's going to happen so you can see each mechanic play out too. So when this happens, here's a 5-6 second clip of bam, this is what you got to do. So you don't have to go through this 20-minute video, listen to somebody talk about where stuff is at. You can just see each mechanic you have a struggle with. Like you on the blades, like I got to run here now next time and not wipe the whole raid and be called up by the raid leader.
Perfect.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I gotta change my attitude to raid now. Definitely.
All right. I guess you guys got anything else you want to talk about on the raid side?
Well, actually, Vexx, you actually ran. You completed all of normal raid, like on your first week back, right? With our guild.
So yeah, the first week back, I jumped into the all raid with Tata's guild, and they one shot every boss, and it was great. I enjoyed the raid so far, honestly. We ran it really quick, and I wasn't responsible for much, so I didn't really catch a lot of the mechanics. But yeah, I think I got 3 drops out of that run and a BOE. My first run in raid after one-shotting everything. It was great. Yeah, it was really good timing too, because the raid lead said that was going to be the last raid for normal for the guild, so I got in just in time to see it. I'm trying to get my warrior ready for heroic, and hopefully I think they're running that tonight on the all raid for heroic. So I'm gonna see if I'm ready for it. But yeah, no, so far so good.
You missed one small detail. He got a BOE gloves.
Oh.
And then he rolled for another pair of gloves that dropped off a boss and won. So he got 2 pairs of gloves and went in BOE.
Yeah.
So
I was a little bit greedy on that one. But yeah, I came out real nice for that one. Sold some 80K pair of gloves and got an upgrade. It was a good run for sure.
So you got the gloves. And like, was there a bunch of people competing for this, or competing with you for the gloves? Like,
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, what a greedy guy!
I know.
Oh man, so this is your first week of this. So like, I've been in Castle every week for like, what are we into this expansion? Maybe 10 weeks now, maybe 9. How far are we in?
I think almost
8.
Yeah, I think 8 or 9.
We'll just say 8 for the sake of it. So the first month I ran with 9-man, and no BOEs dropped for me. And 9 minutes rule of the raid is you get a BOE, it's yours, have a nice day. So now I'm with Might, and Might's got this different idea where the BOE drops, it goes into this like pot where it goes to be sold for guild repairs. So kind of just to fund the raid content. I've been there 2 weeks, I've had 3 BOEs drop.
Oh my god, that's a good repair money for everybody. Holy cow.
Right? If they would have sold for max price, that would have been like 400k gold in my pocket. So,
wow, that's unfortunate.
A little salty, but hey, it'll go to the guild progression, so all's good in that. The good of everybody's scheme of things.
Right.
All right, and I guess we'll recap these numbers real quick. So I looked up this morning. 65 guilds have hit cutting edge so far. So that's Mythic Dire
65?
65.
Okay.
What's your thought on the balance between Horde and Alliance guilds on that? Like, where do you think the number falls to the 65?
Oh. Okay, here's what I think. I think that when it comes down to top-end content, Alliance is always going to be high because their racials are the best racials in the game. So the best players will always play Alliance, but more play Horde. So I'm going to assume that any high-end content, whether it be arenas, raid, is always going to be Alliance.
So if you had to put a number, like out of the 65, how many of those were Alliance?
I would probably say like probably 80 to 75% area.
So what, if we're talking 65, you're saying about 40 or so were Alliance? Is 40 to 65?
I'd probably go to like 50. Yeah, I'd probably go to like 50.
So what do you think in there, Vexx? What's your number after this?
I'd probably go. Yeah, I'd probably go a little bit lower actually. But you're right. Yeah, I would say a lot. Oh, we lost our layout one more time. But you're right. Yeah, I think a lot more players are going to be Alliance. Yeah, about 40 or 50, I would say. There we go.
40 to 50. Okay.
Yeah.
So, fun facts. So the two main guilds that pushed like last year, like it was Complexity Limit, Horde Guild, Method EU, Horde Guild. You're actually on the wrong side of things on this. So when it comes to raid, it's Horde guilds that dominate. So
right now,
let's
let's go!
55 Horde guilds, 10 Alliance guilds have got cutting edge.
Wow.
Wow. That's actually shocking.
So, like, this has been more my world because for Mythic cross server to happen, you have to have 100 Horde and 100 Alliance guilds get cutting edge. So for that cross server to happen, and this is usually where like my old guild 9 manned it, we're kind of just waiting in the wings because we'd have 15, 16 people ready, but you couldn't cross server yet. So we had to wait till these extra couple Alliance guilds finally trickled in, or finally wait till basically that last boss just got cut down, so he was kind of just a loot pinata where he just fell over, before we could get into Mythic again, because we'd finally get bodies from cross server to fill those extra couple slots. So wow, that's why I wanted to look it up, because I wanted to see where Alliance was at, and we need 90 more Alliance guilds to be able to do cross server. So come on, Alliance, you top tier guys, step it up for the rest of us. We need your help.
Wow. And how does that number actually correlate to the actual population of WoW?
So
like we're talking,
somebody shared a number on Mythic Plus runs, like how many Alliance were doing it and how many Horde were doing it. And I believe it was like almost 70-30. Like the total completed Mythic time runs, like it was like 70% 30 from Horde to Alliance, which is odd. Well, I guess twofold. One, all the MDI, everybody was Night Elf. Like the MDI just happened this week, everybody was Night Elf across the board. Yeah. They only basically played classes that could be Night Elf because they were doing Shadow Meld skips. So top tier, and then it comes down to like the rest of the WoW population. That's just, there's so much more going on in Horde.
Wow.
All right. Any other things you guys want to talk about in the raid side of things?
Yeah, I actually got one other question. I guess I want to hear Vex's point of view too, because I feel like he has just such a fresh aspect on since he just came back. How does this raid compare to the last raid session or the last two raid sessions in BFA? Like, do you feel like the mechanics or the art or anything about the actual raid itself is like better, or what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I really like just the theming of everything in general, the new theming, the art style. I think Lynkz brought it up earlier, how the Covenant, like the different Covenant art styles come into everything, and each Covenant is so different. I do like this raid a lot better, and I want to preface that with how much I feel like when I raided last expansion, we struggled.
Yeah.
And again, I only have the one run experience, so I love it because we one-shot everything. and it was super easy. But yeah, I mean, like like you said, I'm fresh to it. I am enjoying it. I'm liking the mechanics so far. Um, I like the theming of everything, but I definitely have more to pay attention to in the future runs.
All right, nice. Because you're not one of those guys that wants to spend 120 wipes to kill a mythic boss, right? Like
I'm not
you're
a
out.
big raider. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody that knows me knows that. I mean, when I first started raiding, I absolutely hated raiding. I'm not big on progression raiding. I like instant gratification. I like, hey, let's down this real quick. Give me my loot. Let me go home. But my mindset's changing a little bit because I do want to get in and learn these mechanics a little bit more um, and progress higher in the higher difficulties. So I have been enjoying it more the more that I play with people that I enjoy playing with. Um, but yeah,
Nice, nice. All right. Well, I'm not gonna ask this time. We're just gonna move on. So, this week's weekly event is a good one. This coming up Tuesday, the weekly event's gonna be Battlegrounds. So it's gonna be knock out 4 wins, get a free piece of loot, and then I believe it's like a 50% increase to your honor. So honor grind right now, huge, because it's upgrading everything. You just want honor basically everywhere. So what are you guys looking forward to this week? What do you see yourself doing most of the week then?
Probably BGs. Yeah.
yeah,
No,
for sure.
I, I haven't. I think this is gonna be a great time to gear any alts that you have as well. PvP gear is definitely in a different fashion compared to last expansions because, I mean, I think if you hit, okay, let me see, if you hit Duelist, you can get your gear to 226, and if you hit Glad, you get to 230, I believe. So the high item level from PvP is absolutely insane now. So if you actually stack all your honor points and actually hit rating within your rated PvP, you have an opportunity to be well geared. And that's all through conquest and honor, but mainly honor. So since there's going to be an extra amount of honor and BGs, now is going to be your time to get a lot of good gear.
Yeah, which is great timing for me because I'm just coming back. I'm still trying to catch up. I haven't gotten any PvP gear, a couple pieces of PvP gear so far. So this event's gonna be great for me to catch up, for sure. Definitely gonna see myself in a lot of battlegrounds. Yeah, definitely gonna be in some battlegrounds. It's gonna be fun.
Nice. So I guess let's kind of segue into PvP in general with this. So somebody posted, like, somebody shared this in the forums. It was about if you want to grind out gear, you basically got to take out a whole week off of work because let's talk like rated battlegrounds. If you're a DPS, you're queuing into it. You're queuing with all these other people looking for this like threshold of like 1800 experience, 2K experience. We need the best of the best, or you're not coming in. But then from the gear side of things too, you're gonna hit 200 cap until you hit 1400. So if they're requiring this threshold of this ability, this threshold of this gear, to make that jump, like it's basically nearly impossible. Where okay, you waited 2 hours in queue, you finally get in a group, and it's not the greatest group. You lost, it fell apart. Here you are, another reset. So, yeah, what do you think Blizzard could do to fix that, or is there anything that the community can do? Like, how does a new person, do you think, get into this? Like for instance, there, Vexx, you're coming into this world of like you don't have any rating this season, you don't have that much gear. Like, how do you think you're going to overcome this like wall that's kind of been put up by the community?
We're jumping into a great group like our guild or the group of friends that we have established already that are PvPing. Um, it's the best. In my opinion, the best way to get a jump start on things is find a group of people that you know are like-minded, looking to do some PvP content like Rated Battlegrounds, despite how their experience or their gear, and go in and learn and pick up those upgrades, and you'll progress that way. So I'm fortunate enough to have these guys, you guys, uh, to jump into some groups and get some premates going. So yeah, just looking for groups of people to jump in with, for sure. I'm not sure what Blizzard could do right away to overcome something like that, but my advice would be is to find a guild, find a group of people that you like playing with, and just start throwing groups together.
Okay, so you're going the route of have friends that can carry you or pay for carries. It's kind of like
Not no, well, it's sort of. I mean, you don't have to look for that carry. Just look for people that they want to group up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna win all your games.
right.
Just yeah, just group up. You know what I'm saying?
So I've been watching PvP videos, and Stumps has been kind of harping on this, or kind of throwing out this idea of a solo queue option. What are your thoughts on a solo queue, or do you need more explanation of how that would even lay out?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said that in the past to Tata. I think it would be kind of cool to be able to solo queue into stuff like 2s and 3s. Not being a high end, and I see the smile already. I think coming from Tata, I'm not a super high end player. So he's gonna have a lot more to say on this. But I think it'd be neat, you know, for somebody like me. I don't have a set arena team yet to push with until Tata does his thing. But solo queuing into 2s and 3s would be kind of cool. But like I said, Tata will have more to say on the high end things.
So yeah, let's switch without their Tata on solo queue for rated PvP
Yeah.
2s and 3s.
I guess there's a lot to say on it. I fully agree with the solo queue. However, here's what I would think the immediate change needs to occur is I think Blizzard needs to bring back set teams for arena. Where back in the day you used to go buy like a charter, and then you have to have 3 people sign it, and then you have or 4 people, and you have an actual 4-man roster team. And the reason for this is one, it stops carries, not in total, but it'll help stop the carries that's occurring in arena because for some of you guys that don't know, that's actually trying to push right now, has never pushed in the previous seasons. If you get to about 2K, 2.1 right now, everybody that you're facing are people that are carrying at least one person in the team. So 2 out of those 3 people are actually already have their glad mounts, or they already have their probably already have rank 1 for the season, and your chances of winning are very, very slim because well, you're facing somebody that's actually a 3K player. However, they're in the 2K because 2K MMR because they're carrying somebody. So definitely they need to bring back the arena team aspect. Now, what I would strongly advise for people to actually get over this hump and actually push for like the first time is I would probably focus more on 2s. If you've never hit like 2K, 2.2 or Duelist ever in your life, start with 2s. And when you play with 2s, every single loss that occurs, always blame it on yourself. Whether the healer gets one-shotted, what could have you done to stop from getting one-shotted, or whatever the excuse may be, always blame it on yourself and try to improve some way, somehow. Figuring out, are you CCing right? If you're trapping, are you hunter? Are you polying as a mage? Like, are you hitting it off DR? Are you watching DRs? Are you watching kicks? Basically, you want to make sure that you're watching every aspect of the game. That's the only way you're actually going to improve. And by doing 2s, it's a slower pace and it allows you to push. So right now, if you actually push 2s right now and you get Duelist, you still get the same gear as 3s. So definitely my question is, when I see people that's never pushed and I look at their 2s matches and I don't see enough games played, that tells you that they're spending either too much time in LFG or for 3s, or they're actually not really wanting to improve themselves much.
It's fair, I like that. So you were saying when we were doing 2s, you were taking all the blame for all our losses, so I was on point, and you were the downfall to all those hard carries. Oh man,
Definitely.
So wanted to roll back here to kind of what we were talking with the solo queues. So it might be a little harder to do solo queues with 2s and 3s because it's a lot about comp makeup. Like if you get 2 DPS in, like, let's say they're 2 warriors, they may not be the same as like the rogue mage 2s that have been good forever. So there's a lot to do with comp makeup in 2s and 3s, but like let's talk rated battlegrounds. kind of like the Overwatch type effect, because Overwatch did this. They did solo queues where you queue as a DPS, healer, or damage, and it puts you in with random people. Do you think Blizzard could do something on the solo queue for rated battlegrounds, or what's your thought there?
I think they could. I think a lot of thought would have to go into it, and I think that's my main concern. Is Blizzard really gonna be wanting to put efforts into it? Because they could make it really great, but the problem I see them running into is they'd have to set it up where they're evenly matching players, and I think that is gonna be my biggest concern. I just, for some odd reason, I don't see Blizzard putting enough effort into it, but I feel like I played Overwatch a little bit, and I kind of see how they have it set up, and I think they could do the exact same thing for not only BGs, but also for Arena. But I feel like it's just so much that has to go into it, and I'm not sure if Blizzard's going to be wanting to do that, sadly.
Right, but you think it'd be that much of a change? Because right now, when you queue into a battleground, like as a rated BG, it basically combines your guys' MMR, and it shows, okay, MMR, this team is against this team. You think it would be that hard to do individual tiers? Like, I myself, let's say I'm a 1200 rated player, I queued, it just compiled a bunch of 1200 people, or even the scale of 1200 to 1400. Like,
yeah.
I feel like they've got kind of the coding threshold out there, wouldn't be too much more, but I don't know.
I actually see what you're saying. Yeah. If they base it all off MMR, I think one thing I just want to see, which is why I said that, is because I specifically want to see them match MMR with achievements. So, for example, if I go and I get somebody to play 3s with or 2s with, and we all have Gladiator achievement, but we're queuing at 1300, it's unfair to face 1300 teams. Our achievements should match our MMR as well. So I feel like that's really what I would like to see out of Blizzard, but I feel like if they just do a baseline of what you're saying to solo queue for RBGs, I feel like, yeah, that should be very easy to come out with.
What's your thought there, Vexx?
My thought goes back to group composition, like you had mentioned before. Kind of like Dungeon Binder, right? You're going to queue up as a tank, or you're going to queue up as a healer. I mean, it's a similar concept, right? You can queue up for RBGs as your tank, as your healer, as your DPS spec, and then on top of that, mix in your MMR matching, your achievement matching, like Tata mentioned. I think it's doable. Obviously we'd have to see how it played out, but yeah.
And I feel like rated battlegrounds, it's not as much like you need to have this setup as Arena would be. Like Arena, you got your 3 players. There needs to be some kind of synergy. Like I saw an RBG team. It was 3 Disc Priests and 7 Boomkin. So like,
oh my God.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like
Holy shit.
Like the rot on that. Like if I go in as a Boomkin, like I'm top damage just because I have AoE gear. Like I've got my raid gear set up, so I can just spit damage. So I feel like any kind of crazy mix isn't going to be a horrible variance on comp setup for like rated battlegrounds as opposed to Arena.
So in the past, as far as comp, when I think of comp, I'm thinking of stuff like, depending on the game mode that you're playing, if you're playing like in a Arathi Basin, or if you're playing Warsong Gulch, your comp that you're looking for is you like to be successful. And again, I'm not a huge RBG player, but to be successful there in a WSG, you're going to want a decent tank with really good mobility, right? If you queue into a rated battleground and you don't have that good mobility and the other team does, I mean, they're going to be at an advantage. Same thing with an Arathi Basin or similar. You're going to want somebody that's capable of sitting a flag, encountering like a rogue ninja. Those are the kind of comps that I think about. So it all depends. If somebody's got that comp and the other team doesn't, because of RNG, because of who you got matched with, the other team's going to be at an advantage.
So let's say you queued into it and you got just like a trash warrior tank. Is it so bad that you're like, oh, I hate this guy, like he's a horrible person for even thinking he should come in here as a prot warrior, like I almost want to AFK out?
It depends, I guess.
That's another problem right there too. I feel like
Yeah.
people would have to be heavily penalized for AFK now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. AFK is a whole different topic, but yeah.
Right. So like that's where you kind of get that toxic community aspect, like in
Hmm.
Overwatch. Like when I was playing that for the couple weeks I played it, I played the hamster tank, and everybody was just pissed. Like, go be Reinhardt. Just hold the shield in front of me. Don't play anything else. Like that seems like the salty reaction I got. Like you feel like it would be just as bad in WoW. Like we got to play the meta. What's your
That's
thought, Tata?
really, I feel like, yes, because I feel like any tank that you get, if you're like go against an actual DH team with the tank, it's just it could be unfair, but I mean, I think ultimately, I'm trying not to think on a really an end game level or like a high rated level, because in all reality, people want the solo queues to be able just to actually get to play the game, you know?
That's true.
So if we just look past the point of like getting to the best and rather looking at like, well, what could you get to? Let's say you could get to maybe 2K. You know, I think that's definitely possible. And I think a lot of people that actually want solo queues have never even been 2K in RPGs. So I think that in that aspect, it's definitely, I think it's okay. Even if you get a warrior tank, if you have good healers, I think you could definitely make do with that level. I remember when I would first start RPGs, I would just say, whoever wants to play, let's play, because I knew that ultimately, if you played enough games, you could get to 2K regardless of your comp. But anything past that, that can be a little bit of an issue for sure.
So I guess your thought would be we'd have to have like a fourth ranking. Like we got twos, threes, RPGs, and then like a solo queue ranking, or you think it should be combined with the team one?
I would think it would need to be combined. Yeah, I would think it would need to be combined because, um, I mean, the thing is too is that I think you should be rewarded if you do get your own team together, because it's more of a community aspect. So I feel like, you know, that's kind of the plus side to getting your own team together, is that you probably will win more. Maybe you could still probably lose against a pug team, but for those that really want a solo queue are probably people that just want to play the game. So let them. You know what I mean?
See, so I'm on the
Yeah.
other side, like, because I think Overwatch is broken up where it's pre-mades and solo queues. Because, like, let's say the MMR is the same. Let's say you queue into it as a solo, or you queue into it as a pre-made team. That pre-made team, let's just use a random number, is going to be 20% more organized and better because they got to pick their comp before they went into it. Like, they had the Vengeance Demon Hunter. They didn't have this random Pug Warrior tank that's in all greens or something that just queued into it for the first time ever. So I feel like solo queue would have to be its own thing of, okay, let's get ready for a trash show. Let's dumpster fire. I'm gonna go into solo queue and see what kind of craziness happens.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you though. If I jumped on the game, none of my friends were on, nobody in guild was on, I would just go to solo queue and queue it just because I want to play, you know? And I think uh I think there's other aspects in the game that people don't take advantage of either, is like WoW chat. Why doesn't anyone use WoW voice chat? Like if you queue into a solo queue and people are actually utilizing the WoW voice chat, I think that also makes them a little bit more structured as well. So I feel like there's other aspects people could take advantage to get better, but ultimately I look at solo queues as an opportunity for people that don't get to play more, but I don't look at it as the way that you're going to be able to climb the brackets for sure not.
Right.
So let's say you got your team queue like at 1597. You're probably not gonna want to touch solo queue until you can find a pre-made team to push that bump, right? Or you're thinking solo queue is going to be for people 1200 or lower, like where they don't care about rating.
No, I would say anything past 2K would be different. Anything below 2K, I think, is for threes, 2v2 RBGs. I think that you could all basically solo queue and have the potential to win.
Right.
Man, I feel like we've got a different view on 2K. Like,
But I would highly suggest that Blizzard takes into account that if somebody goes in there with a rank 1 title, they should not be queuing at 1200, 1800. Their MMR should automatically be set at minimum at 2400. It just makes sense. Like it's just so unfair for them to be queuing into people that's 13, 1400. That's not right. It shouldn't happen.
well, and so you hear that, Blizzard. He said your guys' failed voice in-game function will be fixed if you make this solo queue. So Blizzard, for all you guys that don't watch this, write that down. If you guys want to ever roll back and get that voice function you put however much money into, put some more money into solo queues. It'll get people talking in game without Discord. So we'll mark that down. All right. Any other things on PvP you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, there's actually some PvP changes occurring.
Yes.
Let's go. People have
Yes.
been waiting for these PvP changes for a long time, so we're so ready for them.
Did you look at them? It wasn't a lot though. Like it was like
Yeah.
8 things, right?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna send the link right here, but basically, they're actually addressing just the major issues. One of the aspects that Blizzard wants to change this go around is nerfing like covenants, because it's highly unfair to level up a renown or choose a covenant and then it just get nerfed to the ground and then you have to reroll another covenant. They're trying to avoid that. So what they actually are doing though is Convoke with boomies was just a huge issue, was just one-shotting people. I have multiple clips of me getting one-shotted and unable to hit Divine fast enough. And so that's something that they're definitely nerfing. And then also another biggest thing is the Ret and Prot Paladins Word of Glory healing being reduced by 20%. I don't know if you guys watched the arena tournament, but the arena tournament, it just all revolved around the Ret Pallies, just Word of Glorying all the way to the end of the match. So it's definitely a good start to actually get, PvP a little bit balanced. The only thing that I could stress as much as possible is they need to buff classes that are not being played in arena to give a little bit more aspect. So like Mistweaver monks, maybe even Outlaw Rogue or Assas Rogue. Like classes that you're not seeing much should be buffed. Fury Warriors, stuff like that. That way, it's not limited to comps. There's more classes that people could play, is what I would ultimately like to see. But
Yeah, so there was only like 4 classes or 3 classes they really announced changes to: Druid, Mage, Paladin. And this came shortly after 2 weeks after the arena first season or first swings of it, or if you want to break it down as. So basically, somebody posted in Discord the top numbers of like what the comps were. Basically, it was Holy Paladin, Boomkin, and I guess there was a bunch of mages too, right? We're kind of like the top 3 that everybody was playing. So those are the ones that basically got the big nerf bat. Do you see it coming down to anything else, or it's just basically Blizzard's gonna watch what the top, it's not MDI, it's like Arena World Championship, or what's the term there?
yeah, that's it. AWC, yeah, Arena World Championship.
Right, so they're gonna bring them down, and like I was seeing memes about people joking about like Holy Paladins or Prot and Red, like this Word of Glory thing going down 20%. It's like, all right, well, he did 30k in one shot. 20% of that, he's still gonna do 20 some plus k healing. Like, is 20% even that big of a deal? Like, did they not nerf it enough? Like, what's your thought on that?
I don't think they should over nerf it. So I think they're taking a good initial step to see how 20% is gonna do. I think Ret is only viable right now because they have the ability to heal, and their burst is so insane. But I think that it's just like in BFA, right? In BFA, Ret really wasn't played as much because even though they had a disgusting opening, they just could not survive at all. So I kind of like the aspect of them being able to heal. I just think that it's too much right now, and I think 20% will. I think it'll put them in a really good spot. It won't be over nerfed, but it won't be. They'll still be able to keep themselves up. So I think it's actually a sweet spot, but it might need a little bit more tuning.
Nice. So, what's your thought on this two's dampening? Like, I don't know if you saw this, but if both comps have a healer, both comps have a tank, they start at 20% dampening. It's kind of a burst here right now. Like, is this really an issue? Like, are these games lasting so long that we gotta jump into this 20% dampening?
A lot of people are against it, but I'm so for it. And the reason why is I feel like it gives a chance for double DPS to actually make it somewhere. And when I say double DPS, I'm not counting Mage Rogue, by the way. So you Mage Rogue players are in a whole nother bracket. But every other double DPS, I would like to see them actually be able to do something rather than just keep queuing in 1300. I think it gives the casual player that plays double DPS that can't find a healer the opportunity to actually make it somewhere. So yeah, I'm actually kind of glad they're doing the 20% dampening. That way you're not required to push as a healer, you know? So I think that's good.
So that 20% doesn't include double DPS.
Yeah, but if they go against a healer comp though, they won't be.
Only if both comps have healers.
Oh, is it only if both comps? I thought if it was just one that had it.
Both teams either have a healer or a tank.
Oh,
so double
okay.
DPS would be completely eliminated from that variable.
Oh. That's actually interesting. I don't know. That's actually very interesting because, yeah, right now it is really bursty. So I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. What do you think about that, Mike?
I was on the same page you were. I was under the impression that, you know, it would give the opportunity to the double DPS teams and it'd make it more interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're already fast games, like you said. Yeah.
I guess
not.
In the twos you've done it because you're a healer. Like, do you feel like the healer DPS against healer DPS games just take forever, or?
They are. I mean, they're longer than threes, of course, but I don't see them as long as BFA. BFA was like an 80% dampening, and then finally somebody would die. So now I'm not for sure, actually. Yeah, I'm not for sure.
So
That's
I think
actually
it's
a good
Blizzard's
question.
way of getting it to line up with that double DPS, like, bam, it's over 10 seconds. Is that their goal, is to kind of bring down those healer DPS comp games to kind of be as close?
That's actually a good point as well. Yeah, because I mean, I guess you could go that route. People maybe will play double DPS now more as well because, you know, if you're doing 20% dampening, it's still going to be a DPS race ultimately. That's a lot of dampening to start out with.
Like, what did we get to that one match? 33 against the Demon Hunter, and like, what have you? It was you and me against the Demon Hunter something.
Yeah, and that was without starting at 20% dampening, right? So that they were actually when me and you ran twos Lynkz, it was actually kind of long games, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe this is actually a good thing. This is a good change.
So get in there, let them wipe me quick, and then start over so I can get my 35 honor and go on to the next one.
The question you got to ask yourself is what you're doing wrong.
Right. I need to macro that turtle shell panic button to basically every key. So I just smash my keyboard and somehow it pops off.
Yeah.
All right. Any other things on PvP you guys want to touch on?
No, I think that's it.
All right.
Mike?
And real quick for the people that want to know, WoW gold token, because this is the height of everybody's reason for watching this video. WoW token price, it's at 1,140 gold right now. So for the random people that care about that,
Wow.
That's apparently a thing people need to talk about in these podcasts. So
I mean, I think that's actually huge as well because you know when they did away with that huge carrying community, it was actually amazing. They said that I can't remember what the community was. It was in BFA that Blizzard actually decided to ban them, and as soon as they banned them, they had multiple characters with gold cap, and they had so many that they had to start new accounts. And they had multiple accounts full of characters with gold cap. And then as soon as they got banned, their whole community got banned, the WoW token price just went up because of so much gold that was lost in that. Right. So it's actually fascinating how that works.
That was the Gallywags or Gallywicks, like the.
Gallywix, yep, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I looked this up, I looked up just WoW token price, and it had the price on different like servers. Like,
Oh,
guess what the token price is in China? Like, gold per token, like
how much?
326,000 is how much gold you get for a token.
Wow, so that would mean that people are not buying the tokens, right?
I think it means there's
Yeah.
so much more gold, like in the community, that it's a lot more gold per token. Am I thinking that way?
No, it should be the other way around. The more gold, the less they are going for, I believe. I think. More
How's
gold,
that
the
work?
less.
If more people are buying it, it's cheaper, right? So if less people are buying it, it's more expensive.
Yeah, actually, I don't know that. Actually, that's actually.
Come on, Vexx. You're the analyst guy.
Math.
Math. Yeah,
I got
I-
nothing, brother.
I would assume that if the supply and demand. Yeah, I would assume if the supply was high, the demand would be low, so that would mean that it would be more, right?
Yeah, because well, it's not. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take this as a takeaway. I'm gonna run it by the gold farmers that I know to see like.
We need a gold farmer on here, dude. That's what
Right.
we need. We need to talk to a gold farmer, dude.
Yeah.
Because I think Scrumpy and Mist farm a lot of gold and sell stuff and pay for their WoW through that. So I'll run it by one of those guys and see if they can give us a simple answer. Because apparently we struggle.
There's actually a comment I want to make on that, actually, because, you know, if you actually started Shadowlands and decided you did not want to push Mythics, Raid, or Arenas, and you just grinded gold, you could hit endgame achievements on all three just by grinding gold. Isn't that fascinating?
You're talking about grinding gold and paying for the carries? Is this?
Yes, grind the gold, pay for the carries. You get all three achievements in each category. Boom, you're the best WoW player there ever was.
The best
All
ball
right.
player there ever was.
Biggest takeaway: just farm gold. Like that's all you need to do, and you get everything you want in WoW.
Okay, there's actually a comment here in regards to the tokens that I actually wanted to read out real quick. If there are more tokens on the market for sale, then the cost of the token goes down. If there are less tokens on the market, the cost of the token goes up.
Right.
So
That makes sense.
So, on that, does it go off of buyers then? Like, if it's not being bought, but there's more people selling.
I actually don't know. Yeah, we need to speak to a gold farmer, dude.
Right?
They have to know this. They have to know
Wow,
this.
accountant.
All right. Real quick, couple quick topics we'll just be able to fly through. What's your thought on the Maw? Vexx, you've been in there. I don't know if you've even been in there yet. Like, what's your thought on the Maw?
So yeah, it's a little bit cumbersome. I haven't spent a ton of time in there. I just started doing my Torgaths, right? And I don't know if it's just because I'm just really bad at my character or whatever. But yeah, the Torgaths I've been struggling with again, probably just because I haven't figured it out yet. I think I'm on floor 7 right now, and I failed it for the first time last night. I've seen people selling runs, like what floors 2 through 8 they're selling for gold. I mean, is that normal for everybody to be struggling in there that much to buy runs through Torghast? I'm not sure.
Right. So, one real quick thing on the Maw. So, right now, coming up Tuesday through Friday, the Maw's got this thing where it's a beast event. This beast that's up right now will have a chance to drop the Maw mount. So, only one mount
Holy
is
shit.
usable in there. And that's this. Like, it's this little, like, demon dog. It's the guy's, like, when you're on the Maw, you can kill this guy, and he'll give you his mount for, like, a minute. There's a permanent mount that drops off of this boss, and it's up on a... Like, remember how Visions were? Not Visions, but, last tier, where it was, like, Tuesday through Friday, Friday through, like, the Assaults? That's how this rotation works. So there's a Tuesday through Friday, Friday through next Tuesday, vice versa. So,
Right.
if you want to spend time in the Maw, which nobody does, this thing will help you get around there a little bit faster, unless you just go Druid. then you can be in travel form.
Yeah.
But that maw grind is rough, and I don't think it's worth it because you get a socket. Like for 7,000 Stygia, you get a socket. And like I've been trying to do it every day, and it's taken like 45 minutes to an hour to get all the stuff done in the maw each day. And I guess I'm on the fence. I don't know if it's worth it. I do it just because I put it on my calendar. I do it every day when I wake up. But I guess it's Tata. Are you captain? Are you exalted with the guy? Like, have you done it like 3 times?
No. The only time I spent time in the mall is when Shadowlands first came out. You were able to stand outside the gates or the entrance, and just kill any alliance that came through, and that was so fun to grind a little bit of honor and make people's lives miserable.
There you go.
Until Blizzard did away with that, now you go invisible for a little bit, and you can actually get away from everyone. So, other than that, I stay away from the mall. I do want to make a point though. You can actually run twisting corridors and actually get the mall mount as well. I think it's. Let me see. There's 12 floors each run, and you got to run 8 of that, I believe. One of my friends that I play
18.
with actually has the mount. I think it's on the 8th floor. I think you get it. I'm not 18. It's 18 actually. 18 floors, or 8. It's 18 floors and in 8 layers, and then you get the mount. So it's probably like what, like maybe like a week of running Torgath. I'm not about that life, dude. There's no way, dude.
Right.
There's
So
no
yeah,
way.
18 floors. You're looking at doing 8 layers of it, and with them increasing difficulty, and so I'm not ever going back in there. I went on my druid. I spent 2 hours on layer 1, and I wasn't getting any good like powers. So by the time I got to floor 16, like I was even in there's tank, and tank and healers are supposed to cheese it with. I was getting crushed, and I had to get rid of the 16 mini boss to get done with that layer. I had to pot. I had to put drums. Like I barely got through. I spent 2 hours in there to get to the final boss, and him just one-shot me 3 times. And that's 2 hours that I didn't get that one done. I may not ever go back. Like I'm just too salty about it right now. So. And if you want Vexx, there's my crawl is volunteering to carry you through Torgath, because he's apparently done all 8 layers. So we got somebody that'll carry you through it, and that's how I do my Torgaths now too. If I do my 8s for the week, I find a group. You get 1 tank, 3 DPS, and a healer, like a dungeon, and you just fly through it. I think it's the only way to do it right now.
All right, gotcha.
That is so great. That's just a huge grind, I feel like. Wow.
Right, and Tata, now that you got your Lego maxed out, like you're probably not going back to Torgath, the Maw. You're pretty much done with both zones, right?
I haven't done Maw, Torgath, none of that. I stay away from those zones. Oh my goodness. Actually, you have to go in there to get a renown, I think, every week. You got to go do the souls or whatever. I think that's the only time I actually go in there. But I might do twisting corridors. I don't know. I hear there's. Do you unlock any appearance changes or anything? I don't know. I thought I heard about it in chat. I'm not really for sure though. But I might be wrong on that.
So I believe you get a pet and something else, and the mount's the final threshold at the end for doing 4 days of your life in there. You get the mount. So, and then that mount's just good in the Maw, and nobody wants to be in the Maw. So it's like, yeah. Do I want to waste all this time in my life to do content I don't want to do in my life? So.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Well, what else do you guys want to talk about? I've hit all the topics I had lined up. We're kind of 15 minutes over what we thought we'd go. What do you guys want to touch on before we wrap up?
I think I'm good.
I think there's actually something that I actually no, there's not actually. No, there's not. I was gonna say there was another game that I'm actually looking to try, something that's just a little bit off topic for WoW, that for those that don't play WoW. I was actually looking to get into Minecraft, just regular Minecraft. I know everyone's know that I've been playing Minecraft Dungeons, but
Tata from the call.
I was looking to try regular Minecraft out. And do you play that at all, Lynkz?
No, I was about to remove you from the call. Like Minecraft.
Oh, jeez.
Minecraft is a touchy subject with me. Like after the.
Oh, I was gonna say, tell your story. I want to hear your story all over again.
So, like, we'll start from the ground up here. So, Corona hit, and kids are at home. Okay, like, so they're using their tablets to do schoolwork, and with that, like, we had to lock and unlock and stuff like that because we took away their YouTube. And to keep it simple for the fiance, like, I made it so we would just unlock and lock it, and that also unlocked purchases so they could use YouTube. So we had it locked. They couldn't buy anything. We're good with games. Life is good. But between them doing the homework on unlocking the tablets so they could do the whole YouTube thing, it unlocked the games. Well, 6-year-old got into Minecraft, and he was able to rack up $1,200 worth of purchases. Like, I don't know what you can buy in there. I don't play it, but like,
What?
he was just clicking,
Shit,
and he
dude.
bought $1,200 worth of shit. So that's how much my credit card allowed before it's like there's something wrong. Like, I don't know where my credit card company thought that I spend hundreds of $200 worth of packs and what have you, but like, yeah, $1,200 is where it was hit before. It was like, you're done. Like, this is suspicious. Like, you don't normally buy hundreds of dollars worth of Minecraft stuff. Well, yeah, so I went and deleted
Wow.
Minecraft off of both their tablets.
Yikes, man.
And
Wow, dude.
I don't know if you guys have done
Actually-
Apple support, but it's horrible. Like, you open a ticket, not my charges. It even has an option that says done by minor. So, had to click, and it was like 50 transactions. So I had to do like 3 pages of like checking each box being fraudulent. Submitted it, 3 days later, denied. Did it again, 3 days later, submitted, denied. Tried to do it a 3rd time, it no longer had the boxes. I could no longer dispute the charges because I disputed them twice. So at that point,
Wow.
now I'm calling Apple support. Have you called Apple support before?
No.
It's about a
Yeah,
45-minute hour wait before you talk to somebody. And then they have no authority. And this went on for like weeks. And then I finally just opened a ticket with my credit card. Like, credit card disputes, easiest thing in the world. You say you didn't do it, they return your money, game over. Like, that's simple enough.
Right.
But that turned into
Yikes.
them blocking my Apple account. So because the chargebacks on my Apple account turned off. So this is all the purchases I've had for the last like 10 years, all the music I've downloaded on Apple Music, like all of it gone. Like,
Oh my god.
the
So
final...
don't have kids.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. The final
The
way I
takeaway
got this
from this.
resolved is I tweeted. Like, I don't use Twitter, but I tweeted out at Apple, and I kept doing it over and over. And then finally somebody from their executive office called me. And, like, yeah,
Wow.
we're going to do a one-time waiver of this suspension, blah, blah, of your account. So, as much as I hate Twitter, that's how you get a hold of Apple. Go to Twitter. That's all they look at. And then somebody from the executive office calls you. So,
Oh wow.
Crazy.
yeah, so Minecraft, no, I'm out. So,
Oh my gosh. And then, well, also, we should also probably make note that we're doing this show every Sunday, right? And we're just going to basically be giving any weekly updates. And then we also are what was the fail call that we're going to do every week?
You hate to see it.
hate to see it moment.
Hate to see it moment. So I guess if anyone does ever have like a major fail or anything like that, and you guys want to send it to us, definitely send it to Lynkz, Vexx, or me as well on Twitter or through Discord or anything, so that we could actually show that as well.
Right. Good deal. Any other topics you guys want to touch on?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, so we'll wrap this up with kind of where people can find you. So, Tata, you want to start first? How can people find you through the week until next Sunday when they can catch us here?
On my Twitter, which is at it's Tata Wow, and then also I do have a Discord as well.
And you're streaming on YouTube, right? That's where you're kind of sourced right now most time?
Yeah, I got a YouTube and a Twitch, actually. I'm on YouTube. YouTube doesn't allow you to actually make a custom URL to a certain amount of subscribers that I don't have yet. So, but on Twitch, I'm at twitch.tv at Tata TTV.
Okay, so Tata TTV on Twitch, and if they go to YouTube, they can search you and try and subscribe, right? If they search the same thing.
My name's It's Tata on YouTube.
All right, and then do you have a set schedule you kind of try and follow, or what's the best time they can try and find you live?
On YouTube, on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 7 a.m. to about 10 a.m. or so.
All right, good deal. So we got Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. Randomly, every once in a while, they can find you and track you down. Otherwise, we'll be live here Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Central Time. What about you, Vexx? Well, how can they find you?
You can catch me on Twitter at VexLols, same as my Twitch, VEXXLOLZ. And I stream completely randomly, no schedule at all. Yeah.
All right, so Vexx is like a falling star. You just got to be looking out. Maybe one will pop up every once in a while. So
yeah, you'll see me with these guys.
All right, fair. And then I'm Lynkz. You can find me at Lynkz TV on Twitch. New schedule is going to be 7 to 10 o'clock Monday, Thursday, Friday, all Central Time, and then we'll be here Sunday morning to talk. Appreciate that it stopped out. We'll be uploading these to YouTube. You can check out our VODs if you missed it. You want to come back through. But otherwise, we will see you guys next Sunday, 8 a.m. Central Time.
Nice. Take care. Take it easy.
Bye.